let's talk about some fun things. I have been out of town all last week. I was in Spokane at a conference, and they made fun of me because I came with a tote, like a big old rolling cart thing full of Stampin' Up! Product, because it doesn't matter where I go, the creating has to go on. So I was crafting away. So I was playing with the Everything is Rosy kit. I told you guys that I'm having a special this month. If you purchase the Everything is Rosy kit from me, you'll get a tutorial for this beautiful tote and 10 cards. Well, I didn't have time to design the cards before I left out of town, so that's what I worked on when I was gone. So I want to show you guys the cards I came up with because I'm really proud of them and they're beautiful. And this kit is phenomenal. And that's kind of what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about the rose gold shimmer paint, which is absolutely beautiful. This rose gold shimmer paint, this comes in the Everything is Rosy kit. And so I'm going to show you a couple ways to play with it. Good morning. Happy Mother's Day to all of you guys coming on. So if you're on my team, you never have to worry about getting my tutorials because you'll get my tutorials for free. I post those as soon as they're ready. So I'll be working on that tutorial. You guys should be getting it in about a week's time or so. So here is the cute little tote. And Mom, if you're watching, spoiler alert, this is your gift from me, but you'll be getting it a little bit late. So here's my little bag. And then when you open it, you have 2 compartments with 5 cards and 5 matching envelopes to go with them. So I'll show you the cards and envelopes. We have beautiful cards. I love this because I just used the colors and the paper and the labels and the embellishments, everything that comes in this kit. It's just absolutely stunning, and I love all that rose gold shimmer. So this tutorial will come with all 10 cards and instructions how to make them, and everything you need is in the kit besides the cardstock. Some of the cardstock's not like the, what you'll need is Whisper White cardstock, Melon Mambo cardstock, and Night of Navy. So these, I just put the beautiful paper on the backs of the envelopes so that they can match your card. See that? So there's the first 5. I'll show you the next 5. Yes, hit that magic S button. Thank you, Kim. Make sure that you do that. I'll be drawing for a winner for someone who has hit that S button down at the bottom of the screen, that magic button. And I'll tell you about that in just a second here, but I'll show you the last 5 cards. So we have this beautiful, now I used rose gold shimmer paint on this one, and I did speckles, like flecks of paint. But they're all just a little bit different, a little bit, you know, adorable. There's all kinds of occasions. Congratulations, birthdays, thank yous, all kinds of fun things. I love this marbled paper. That's probably my favorite. And then again, more envelopes with matching backgrounds. So I love that this bag fits 10 cards. That's probably my most favorite feature about this, is that it holds 10 cards like nobody's business. So it's absolutely fun. Oh, don't be nervous to try it. Oh, and I cut that paper. Let me tell you how much I still have left. So I made all 10 of these cards and this box, and I have a ton of product left. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'll show you right now. I think I have it all in a bag right here next to me. So I'm just putting all these back, and there's a little Velcro clasp here, right there. And I've got my handles, bam, ready to go. So much product left. I barely used any of the ribbon, even though every project has ribbon in it. Look at the stack of paper I still have. I still have all this paper and embellishments. Look at all these mirrored embellishments and labels that I have left over. Ton. And I still have sheets and sheets of that rose gold foil paper. So you could craft forever. And look at all that ribbon I still have left. So much. I was even playing with scraps. I put all my pieces of scraps on a piece of paper. I was playing with maybe making a card. Anyways, this product is beautiful. So if you buy the Everything is Rosy kit from me this month, let me tell you everything that you're gonna get. You are going to get my tutorial for the bag and the cards. You are going to get my make and takes for free. And you are going to get my annual catalog, spiral bound with tabs. all 3 gifts for buying the Everything is Rosy kit. You just need to use my hostess code for May and you'll get everything on that list. So 3 fabulous prizes for buying this beautiful kit. Mind blown, right? Don't be nervous to get it. It's beautiful. Okay, so good. I can see all of your comments now. Happy Mother's Day. I've got my drink of choice in my cute little mug. It says she believed she could, so she did. I'm just gonna take a little drink here. I always end up talking too much and I don't drink enough and it gets cold. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. All right, so here's my code for the month of May. This code is good to get my spiral bound and tabbed catalog. So this is a little sneak peek of the spiral binding and the tabs that I put on the calendar. I have different sections that you can put your tabs on. So if you place a $75 order on my online store, you get the spiral bound catalog for free. That's my May reward to you. Now, if you're on my team or in my card club, you also get a spiral bound catalog with tabs. So that's kind of a perk of being on my team. I like to spoil you guys in different ways. And one of the ways that I'm able to spoil you is by doing this every year for my team. But as I was saying, if you spend $80 on the Everything is Rosy kit, that will put you at that $75 order, which gives you the spiral bound catalog and my projects from today. All right, let's show you the rose gold projects that I'm doing today. First is this beautiful rose gold shimmered bag. It's a little mini purse. It has a little Velcro enclosure, and inside are Hershey Chick Kisses. But it would also fit jewelry just perfectly. It's perfect size for jewelry for mom, and it's so cute. But I put chocolate in mine because that's the way to my heart is chocolate. And then I'm gonna show you, this is a rose gold technique where I colored the flowers in the embossing folder. And then I also spritzed the color onto this white paper to give the teapot shimmer. So this is just all shimmery and shiny. It's hard to see on camera, but believe me, it's shiny and shimmery there. And then this one, I show you how to paint a background with the shimmer paint. And it obviously goes really well with the butterflies, don't you think? And so it's super shiny and very pretty. And then I actually stamped in the shimmer paint, so I'll show you that as well. Okay, so those are our 3 projects. Let's go ahead and start with our teapot, and I'll show you how to do the teapot. Oh, and the stamp set I wanted to tell you is Strong and Beautiful. This is the stamp set I'm using. It's a Strong and Beautiful stamp set. It has the most amazing and encouraging and beautiful sentiments for any woman in your life, any friend, and we're going to use several of these. I absolutely love this, and I believe it's carrying over. I believe it is. I didn't verify. Good morning, Bryn. Hi, guys. Thank you for watching, and happy Mother's Day. All right, let's go ahead and get going on this. We're going to do the teapot first. All right, so let's see. Oh, okay. So I wanted to show you, here is this one, this background I shaded or I sponged just the flowers. This one I sponged the whole thing. So these are 2 different kind of backgrounds. So I sponged the whole thing. That's why this bag looks this way, is because I sponged the whole thing in rose gold shimmer paint. This one I was selective about what flowers I sponged. So these are kind of 2 different backgrounds, so you can see. I have to actually get the right one out. Here we go. Okay. So we're using the Tea Together and the Tea Time framelits, which I'm so glad is carrying over. Absolutely beautiful set. Great for Mother's Day. It also has Happy Mother's Day in there. So it's a good one to do for Mother's Day. I love the sentiment. It says, our love is one that covers years through life's joys and sometimes tears, a bond that stands the test of time, mother and daughter, hearts intertwined. So that's a really sweet sentiment. And then I put here, so this says, God made you my mother, love made you my friend. Thank you for always being there for me. Happy Mother's Day. So this is all from the Strong and Beautiful stamp set, and I just love these sentiments. So let's go ahead and get going on this. So you'll need a piece of thick Whisper White for the base, and that is 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And then I'm just going to score it real quickly at 5.5, which is halfway through the paper here. I'm just using my Stampin' Trimmer, using the score blade. And then I use this track here, this line, as like a guide to make sure I have nice, solid creases. Okay. And then I have a piece of powder pink, and we're going to emboss this piece. And then we're going to paint, my favorite. So let's go ahead and get the Big Shot in here. And let me get the right pleats. So we need, when we're doing the Big Shot and we're doing the dynamic embossing folders, we need our regular plate. Our magnetic plate is too thick. So we'll put this in the embossing folder, which is hiding from me at the moment. Oh, here it is. This is the Country Floral embossing folder. It was during celebration. It was free with the $50 purchase. They've carried it over, which is awesome. So we'll get to continue to play with this beautiful embossing folder for a while. That's great. So just going to emboss that. It's dynamic for a reason. It creates this beautiful image. Okay, we'll have to use the Big Shot again here shortly, but I'll set it aside for now. Now, the things you're going to need for this are well, you don't need this, but I would recommend it, is a silicone sheet. These are available in the catalog. And the reason I recommend this is because the paint doesn't stick to it and you can just wipe it off really easily. And I'm using a sponge dauber, which I already have rose gold paint on. And this is going to be so that I can selectively color the flowers. Now, if I was going to be doing the full sheet like the one I showed you, then I would use the sponge because I would get a wider surface. But because I want to be so detailed, I'm going to use the sponge dauber because I don't want it to get outside of the flowers, okay? So here we go. I'm just going to pour a little bit. I don't need a lot. Just even a little drop, and I'll just take this off the side here. Gotta conserve my rose gold shimmer paint. So I'm just gonna take some and put some on my sponge, and then I'm just gonna start coloring my flower. Now I don't wanna push too hard, I just wanna get the raised surface of the flowers. You can go in a circular motion, you can dab, whatever works best for you, whatever you think is gonna give you the best control. And we're just going to color those flowers that we want colored. Okay. Look how easy this is. It's like finger painting. Painting with your little finger dauber. Super easy, right? Anybody can do it. And then I'm just gonna see how I just rub in the center of the flower and it covers the whole flower. Now it's not gonna be perfect, you guys. So get that out of your heads right now. Painting with the sponge dauber is not gonna be perfect. You might get some outside of the lines. You might get it on a leaf that you didn't wanna get it on. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna make a beautiful background. Okay, look at these beautiful flowers, how they begin to pop. They just like come right off the page. So pretty. Look at that. Maybe get one over here. Get this cute little flower here. Okay, so there you go. You can do as little or as much as you want, but now you have this pretty background for this little teapot. My husband says this card is really plain and it looks like a servant, that the pot reminds him of a servant. And I said, no, it's tea with mom. And he was like, moms are flowers and flowers and flowers. He's like, not teapots, but what does he know? He's not a mom. What does he know? All right, so I have this piece of Whisper White. This is obviously a scrap piece, but that's okay. We're gonna use this side and you will not be able to see that little practice stamping I was doing. So you need a piece of Whisper White and some Stays On ink, and we're gonna stamp our teapot on this piece of Whisper White. And then I'm gonna show you how we're gonna mix shimmer paint with rubbing alcohol to do a spritzing of that rose gold shimmer paint. Now I know you probably can't see it very well in the camera, but let me tell you, that teapot has a lot of shimmer and shine to it after it's done. So again, this teapot is from that Tea Time, or is it Tea Time? Tea Together stamp set, which is carrying over. It's in the Occasions catalog. All right, so then we're gonna stamp our little sentiment. I don't know why I closed this. Here's our sentiment. God made you my mother, love made you my friend. Put that in the middle, which I love that it fits perfectly. There we go. Okay, and so let's go ahead and spritz now. What I'm gonna do is, so that I don't make a huge mess, I'm gonna put some paper towels. Paper towels are your friends, and baby wipes. You need these for these kind of messy projects. Okay, so you've got your thing here. Now let's go ahead and mix our little concoction. So this is the spritzer, okay? And I'm gonna put rose gold shimmer paint in it. Now this is really cool. This is actually a really cool technique because you can spray and add a shine shimmer look to pretty much anything, any project. You can spritz it. I'll show you this little, while this teeters and balances. I did it on a piece of Night of Navy, and then I crumpled it up so that it looks distressed, but has this really pretty shimmer to it. Wouldn't this be pretty as a background or something on a card? While it was wet and not completely dry, I just crumpled it and really weathered it. See, I shouldn't be doing this all at the same time. Okay, so I've got my shimmer paint. I just put a few drops in, and now I've got this little container of rubbing alcohol. I got this at Walmart in the cake decorating aisle for like $1. And the reason I use alcohol is, rubbing alcohol, is because it dries really quickly. So we're just gonna put that in there. I didn't put a lot, I don't need a lot. And I'm just gonna shake it up real quick. Put this lid on here so I don't make a mess. Clearly, Tammy, clearly my husband has no idea what he's talking about. No, he's a good guy. I love showing him my projects. Because he always has an honest opinion about it, you know? But sometimes he just doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, so I've got it all mixed up in there as good as I can get it. And so then I'm gonna take the cap off, and I'm just going to spray. And again, I got some alcohol drops here, but that's okay. I'm gonna spray a couple test sprays. You wanna keep it as far away as possible so you don't get big old globs. Look at that. Very pretty. I'm gonna let that, I think, okay, that's it. So this is a really, really, this one I didn't dilute as much as this one. So this one is probably a lot less pink than this one, but I think it's going to dry a little bit lighter as it dries. So we will give that a second. And while we're doing that, and then you look, you have more shimmer paint to go spray other things, like other pieces of colored cardstock. I think it would be fun. So this is on white, but you could do it on all kinds of different colors. Okay, so while this is drying for a second, let's go ahead. We don't need this anymore, but we can use it for our next project. We'll go ahead and put ribbon, wrap ribbon around this piece. Here's my ribbon. This is, of course, my favorite ribbon, the polka dot tulle, which is carrying over, yay! And I'm gonna just tie a knot here in the corner. And voila, got a little knot. And I'm just gonna cut off the edges so they're not too long. You guys have fun Mother's Day plans scheduled for today? You guys gonna be spoiled? I hope so. I hope you're all spoiled rotten today and you get to sleep in bed as long as you want and not have a care or worry in the world. All right, so to glue this down, you either need to use liquid glue or really strong adhesive like tear and tape or fast fuse. I'm gonna go ahead and use liquid glue because that's what I have handy here. But liquid glue is going to take some time to dry, so just have to be kind of patient with it. Okay. So put that in my little Tombow glue holder. I'm excited to give one of you guys one of these, or two of these, I guess I should say. It's pretty exciting. Okay, oh, look at that. Got glue on me. Okay. So we'll glue our base down. You know, before I did this, I probably should have stamped the inside so that if I did make a mistake, I could try again. But, yay, Sherry! Do your Maui projects. When I earn Maui, I've decided when I earn Maui, I'm going to throw a luau for my team at my house. Hopefully, hopefully I hit Maui. Hopefully I earn the incentive trip next month. That is my goal. By next month, I should have earned the incentive trip, and I'm gonna throw a luau and we're gonna party like we're in Hawaii already. And it's gonna be so much fun. I'm excited. All right, so let's go ahead and stamp the inside while we're still waiting for our piece to dry a little bit before I cut it out. Here's that thank you for always being there for me. And then this beautiful happy Mother's Day. Love this sentiment. Beautiful. Okay, so there's our inside. I can close this now and clean that off. Oh, here I wanted to show you something about the silicone mat. So you see this paint's been sitting here for a while, and I'm just gonna take a baby wipe and look at that. That paint was dry and it's just off. It just came right off. So I'm just cleaning my stamps off now. Okay, so we'll put those away. All right, so now we should be able to cut out our teapot. So it's not 100% dry, but it's getting there. And you can see that tinted kind of rosy color, which is so pretty. So we have our little teapot framelit, which we'll use to cut this teapot out. Let's go ahead and do that. Set these things out of the way. We need our magnetic plate for this one. Put our framelit on there. So far I've showed you how you can sponge on the shimmer paint and you can spritz with the shimmer paint. And now I get to show you some more fun things we can do with shimmer paint. All right, so there's our teapot. We've got him cut out, and we're gonna go ahead, put dimensionals on the back of this, and we're gonna put it up on our project. So, are you guys like me? Do you guys use all of your sides, sheets of dimensionals? I never waste my sheet of dimensionals. I use every little bit up. Okay, so I've got some on the handles, some on the spout. I'm a little teacup, short and stout. Or teapot. Can't even sing the song right. When I said spout, it made me think of that nursery rhyme. Okay, so we're just gonna glue this on right here in the center, and voila, you have a beautiful shimmery Mother's Day card. How fabulous is that? And you've got your little knot here. So shimmery. I wish you guys could see this in person. It is just shiny and beautiful and tinted rose. What a fun Mother's Day card. You could even spritz the inside, go crazy. So pretty. All right, so that's project number 1. Let's go ahead and move on to our other card. Let me put this away real quick. So we've used it in our Stampin' Spritzer. So that's fun. That's really fun, actually. You can go crazy with it. See, and it wasn't scary at all. I didn't even make a mess. If I don't make a mess, then you're probably pretty safe. All right, so project number 2 is going to be our beautiful butterfly card. So we're gonna paint with our shimmer paint. Now, one thing I wanna show you is that I saw on a YouTube video that you can take an empty Wink of Stella brush and fill it with shimmer paint. You heard me right. You can fill this with shimmer paint and you can keep the glitter going. Are you listening to me, Cindy? Fill your Wink of Stella, your empty Wink of Stella brush with shimmer paint. So we're gonna do that right now. So here is this weird little tube. This is what's inside this Wink of Stella. I already put some shimmer paint in there, but I'm gonna show you how to do this. I know, Cindy, I know, it's crazy. So you can tint any color, well, any shimmer paint color. You can tint your Wink of Stella. So I'm gonna pour this paint very carefully inside. And you can add some rubbing alcohol. So one of the things I learned real quick was that if your Wink of Stella was running low, you could add alcohol to it and continue to use it because there's lots of shimmer left over on the sides and things. And so that rubbing alcohol makes it all shiny again. So then when I saw that you could add shimmer paint to it, I was like, holy cow, this is like taking it to a whole nother level. So you put that in there, you mix it all up. This is such bad news. I know, you need more Wink of Stellas. Okay. So once it's all mixed up, I'm going to show you on this scrap of paper. We're just going to get some of that Wink of Stella out on the brush. And look at, okay, I globbed way too much, but I want to show you. Look at this beautiful rosy tint of Wink of Stella. Now you have this beautiful color. It's like a pinky shimmer. So cool. You can color flowers. Can you imagine coloring flowers with this? This pink shimmer. So there you go. That is a fun little tip. Now, when we're going to make this butterfly, so you can see here, they're not the same color, right? Okay, well, this is tinting your Wink of Stella, but I'm going to show you how you can paint with your Wink of Stella. Yeah, it's pink wink. Ah, pink wink, Cindy. Very cute. Okay, so for this card, you don't need very much. You just need white cardstock and black cardstock. So here's our base of black cardstock. This is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So you've just created this base here. And then you have this piece of Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4. Now I wanted to show you this piece I speckled with shimmer paint. So I want to show you that first. So you can do all kinds of fun backgrounds. This is all shimmery and speckled. I know it's kind of hard to see. Maybe if I bring it up here. Can you see that better? And I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. I'm going to do it on the back side. And I need my paper towel here because this is a messy little technique here. Okay. So before I do that, I just kind of want to show you all these fun little different ways that you can do this. So get your shimmer paint out again. Now you can take paint out of your lid or you can take paint directly out of the thing. But what you want to do, take your cap. And splatter. And the more paint you have on your brush, the bigger the splatters. And the less paint, the less splatters. So you can keep going and on and on and on, and you can have this pretty speckled background. Very cool, right? So that's one way to use that. Okay. So, ooh, I got it all over my shirt. So this is a messy technique, guys, so be really careful with that, okay? All right, so then if we take our little brush, our little piece here, and we're actually going to use it as if it were paint. So we're going to get paint onto our brush, and we're just going to brush the page with this pretty paint. So we're just painting. We're just going to paint this pretty background. Look how pretty this paint is. The color is stunning. And there's really no rhyme or reason. There's no perfect way. It's just however you want to put paint. But having this, I love this kind of painted background. It goes so pretty with the butterflies framelits that you guys can see. I did it in my brush show class too, because it's just really cool. So yeah, so this brush works really well just to spread, just to paint with the shimmer paint. Okay, you don't have to go all the way down. I'm just kind of trying to get some of these big globs spread out a little bit more. Okay, and this is just on regular white Whisper White cardstock. Nothing fancy about this cardstock. You can paint on it, okay? And then what I like to do, as you can see, my Wink of Stella is pretty messy. And remember, it is paint, so I like to just kind of clean it up. Don't want to leave it all messy. Don't want my brush to get hard. Just wipe it off, clean it up, okay? So there's that, boom. So very fun, right? The shimmer paint can be mixed in different mediums, different little tools. So now I have two different kinds of the rose shimmer paint that I can do lots of fun things with. Okay. So just cleaning up my surface here. The next thing we need to do is cut out this beautiful butterfly. and stamp the sentiment. So for the butterfly, I have a piece of basic black cardstock that we're going to cut the frame out of. And I got to get the butterfly framelits from my brush up class here. Now so in the butterfly framelits, there are two different sizes. There's an outline, I call it the outline, and then there's the more centered detail of the butterfly. So you can see this piece and this piece, and you can overlap them to get a two-tone butterfly when you cut it out. So I'm actually going to use just the thinner detailed piece, and I want to just poke out these extra little pieces. Now this is a very detailed piece that I have found that the only way for it to really cut it out is to use the precision plate. That's the word I'm looking for, precision plate. All right, so let's go ahead and set up our big shot with the precision plate. So we bring our big shot into view here. I'm going to move this shimmer paint so it can dry. And we don't want the magnetic plate. We want our regular base plate. Okay, so regular base plate. Then we have this thin dies adapter. And then we have our precision plate. You can see mine's really well loved, but it's this super hard plate. It has hardly any give in it. And that's what helps cut all that detail out. So I have my piece of cardstock and I'm gonna lay my butterfly on it here, like so. And then I have a plate, one clear plate on top. Now I have one clear plate designated solely for the precision plate because it really warps my plates. And I don't want to warp my normal plates that I use on a daily basis. So I have one designated just for this precision plate. You haven't missed out on anything, Debbie. Welcome back. Okay, so I'm just running it through a couple times because there's a lot of tiny pieces and I want it to cut out completely. Okay, so there's our piece. We're gonna move the big shot out of the way. And I have to get my handy tool out here. This is my die brush because there's lots of tiny pieces and it helps to have this little brush. So there's my background. You could even use this piece to do. Wouldn't that be cute as a background? Ooh, very fun. Okay, so you can keep that and use for another time. So I'm just gonna run this die brush across all the little pieces and hopefully poke out all those tiny pieces. See, we've got lots of little black pieces everywhere. And it really takes quite a bit to get all of it out, and we'll definitely have to use our little piercing tool and poke out those stubborn little pieces. And you just want to be really careful when you're pulling these out because you don't want you to rip your butterfly's wings, but it does happen on occasion. Ask me how I know. Okay, so there's our beautiful butterfly. Let me dump all of these pieces here. Lots of little pieces. Okay. And then I'm going to get my little piercing tool and just poke out the little tiny holes that are still being stubborn. And I like to use the foam mat when I do this because it has a little give for the little pieces to come out. And you can just see, it's just kind of a little time consuming just getting out these little pieces, but it's worth it. This butterfly is gorgeous. It's definitely worth the time. Okay. So there we go. So let's put this away. And now let's go ahead and glue our piece of cardstock down now that the paint is dry. It's pretty shimmer paint. Okay, so we've got that down. And then we're gonna put our butterfly right here on top. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that adorable? All right, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna use either fine tip glue or liquid glue for this, but if you are gonna use liquid glue, be really careful and just do tiny little dots of adhesive. You don't wanna go crazy because Well, you guys know, Tombow can be super messy and sticky, and it can ruin a project real quick. So I am just doing tiny dots. Wherever there's like large spaces on the butterfly, I'm just going to do dots. This is going to kind of hold the butterfly down for us. And it's not going to be everywhere, but it will be enough. Okay? I'm going to get it everywhere. Now, the other thing you could do is put this on the silicone mat. You could put this here, and you can use a sponge, and you can sponge up the adhesive and daub the back, and then the whole back will be sponged. But I'll show you that another time because I've already gotten pretty far on this. So, okay. I was just listening to that song, Janie. I was watching the movie I Am Sam. Isn't that a sad movie? Dustin Hoffman did an amazing job in that movie, but it's so sad. Okay, so here is our butterfly glued down. Look how gorgeous that is. So pretty. Okay, now let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. So I'm going to cut a piece of basic black down to about a half an inch. So I'm going to do half an inch up the top. And I like to use these lines on this side because it's kind of easy to follow, especially if the piece is, you know, pretty long. So it has this nice long support here. So half an inch, and let's do about half an inch by, how long is, where's my card? Where's my example? I didn't measure this part. So half an inch by about 3.5. We can trim it down if you want. Okay. Ooh, making a mess. You're right, it's not Dustin Hoffman. I was wrong. Dustin Hoffman, who is I Am Sam? I can't remember his name at the moment. Okay, so I have my Happy Mother's Day stamp. So this is how we're going to do the rose gold. Actually, I don't even need my silicone mat. Use your sponge dauber. And I'm just going to put some on my dauber. You see how I did that? You don't need a lot. And you're going to just sponge directly on the stamp. Sean Penn, thank you. Yes, Sean Penn. He did an amazing job in that movie. So, okay. So here's Happy Mother's Day. I hope that's straight. Yay! And look at that, you guys. We have this beautiful little rose gold sentiment. So fun. Okay, let's close that up, and we've got to clean the paint off of my stamp because I don't want that to be, do not want that to be ruined. The Beatles songs, yes, very good. Oh, I didn't know that he was married to Madonna. Interesting. Interesting facts. He's a very talented actor, though, very sure. Okay, so got that pretty much cleaned, and then we have our little happy Mother's Day. And where are my dimensionals? Here they are. So we're going to put 2 dimensionals on the back here. One here and one here. And we're just going to put this right across the butterfly. And then you could even stamp a sentiment. Now that you know how to stamp in rose gold shimmer paint, you could even stamp a sentiment right here on the black. Wouldn't that be pretty in a shimmery paint? And you could even stamp with the butterfly stamp. Let's go ahead and try it. Let's just do it. Put your words to action, Tiffany, huh? All right, so we've got Happy Mother's Day. Let's see. Let's stamp. What should we stamp? To the woman who taught me what it means to be brave. That's what I'm going to use. That's a good one. To the woman who taught me what it means to be brave. Now, I stuck these down on the back of my case, and they stick really, really good. So it's really hard to get them off. So be really careful when you do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that and see how this turns out. See if it's legible. With the tiny font, it starts to get hard to read, I think, but we'll see. Because this is pretty tiny. If not, if I screw up, I can just cover it with a piece of paper or a piece of Whisper White and stamp in black or something. Oh, look, it is legible. Very cool. All right, let's do a butterfly now. Let's do these pretty butterflies here. So let's put them on stamps. This is kind of cool. I like this. I like stamping with the rose gold paint. Oops. Okay, we'll do one down here. Oh, so pretty. And we'll do one up here. Gorgeous. So fun. So there you go. Stamping with the shimmer paint. This shimmer paint is beautiful, you guys. And it's only part of that Everything is Rosy kit. But you have so much shimmer paint to play on, and so much paper. That paper, did you guys see that paper? How beautiful that paper is. It's worth it, just that paper. So look at that. We've got shimmery butterflies in the inside. This is ready to go. I love it. So pretty. It kind of looks white on the camera, but it's definitely rosy in person. I know it's kind of hard to see. Someone had a question. Best way to get the shimmer off the stamps. I am using baby wipes. They seem to work. But to get into the cracks and things, I would probably, like this one, it's kind of hard to get the shimmer paint out of the cracks. Soap and water is what I would do. Just a little soap and water. Just rinse it under the sink. Make sure it gets real clean. I don't think the chamois is the way you want to go. Not with paint. But yeah, soap and water will wash it right off. Okay? So, and you can see, like, I've been getting it on my mat and stuff, and it just washes right off. I don't think it's, like, gonna do a lot of damage if it gets on things. All right, so let me put this sentiment away real quick. Just stick that in here. Stick that in here. And let's put our butterflies away. And then we have this beautiful, beautiful card for Mom. That's really cool. Super fun. All right, so let's put that away. Now remember, you can get all of today's projects from me for placing a $30 order. So if you already have the Everything is Rosy kit and you don't want to buy it again, but you want today's make and takes, you can get it for $30 order using my code. So very cool. Super simple, right? Not a hard card at all. All right, let me put my butterflies away so don't lose them. They go in the second sheet here. All right, so let's go ahead and make this adorable bag. Now this bag, of course, I'm sure you can all guess where I got this tutorial from the Paper Pixie. She does a lot of amazing 3D projects. And she had this mini purse, and thanks to Janie, who sent me a picture, sent me a video of her tutorial for her large purse. And then in her large purse video, she talked about a smaller version, and I wanted to do the smaller version. So here's what we need for the smaller version. We have a piece of 6x6 cardstock. And in her video, she does designer series paper. What I wanted to do this kind of rosy gold, cute kind of purse color. So I did the powder pink cardstock that we're going to emboss in color. The other tool you need to make this bag is the envelope punch board. And did you guys know that the envelope punch board is retiring? That it's going away? Did you guys know that? So sad. So make sure that that's on your list if it's not already, or if you don't have it already, you need to get that before it's gone. Okay. Where's my, here it is. I have notes everywhere in little notebooks, and so I have to find my measurements for this bag. Okay, so we start with a 6x6 piece of cardstock. Teaching about chamois. Stamp and Scrub might, yeah. Again, I'm just a little bit nervous about using those products on the shimmer paint. I would much rather just use soap and water and not ruin the scrubber or the chamois. That is my kind of personal opinion, but you guys could probably try that out and let me know. All right, so this is a 6x6 piece of cardstock. You put this in your envelope punch board at 1 3/8 inches, and you punch and you score. And I have to do this right-handed. This is the only downfall to this thing, is that it's made for right-handed people. Now we're gonna slide this to 4 5/8. Punch and score. It's just made me ambidextrous. That's all it is. Now, if you're using a piece of paper where you can see your score lines clearly, all you have to do is line up this little pointer here with that score line and punch and score again. But if you cannot see the score lines, just know, refer back to that 1 3/8 and the 4 5/8 on each side. It lines up perfectly. Okay. Oops. And we'll just do this on all 4 sides. Yay, Tammy, power to the lefties. So you know the struggle. I can barely hold this knife. Okay. All right, so here we go. This is it. And once you've done all 4 sides, throw these little pieces away. Now, we will need our trimmer real quick just to score 2 lines. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold down one side so that we have a flat surface to work on. And we're gonna take this score line where this tab is here. See this score line right here? We're gonna line it up at the 1/2 inch mark. And then we're going to score this little tab right here. And we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. So line this up at 1/2 inch and score. All right. And then we'll need another scoring tool, because I've just found that this is the easiest way to do it, is get your Simply Scored tool out, line it up in the corner, and score at the 3 inch mark down to where it meets. Oh, and actually I did that on the wrong side. You want to do it on the opposite side. So the side that you've been doing all your scoring, you want to flip it over so that there's a bumpy side, and that's the side you want to score these at. So you take it, you mark it at 3, slide it down, flip it 90 degrees, score down at 3, 90 degrees, score down at 3, and one more time, score down at 3. Okay, that's all the scoring there is. And now we're going to burnish all of our edges. Double skills. Nope, it's just adapt and overcome in a right-handed world. You think this is the worst thing I've had to do? I never used left-handed scissors in school, and so I used to get like calluses from using the scissors because they weren't designed for left-handed people. When I started playing t-ball as a kid, I could not, for the life of me, hit the ball. And they thought that there was definitely something wrong with Tiffany. She's just not an athletic person. And then finally it dawned on my mom one time that I was not batting left-handed. And as soon as they moved me to the other side of the plate, all of a sudden Tiffany could actually play softball or t-ball, I guess at the time as it was. So yeah, so imagine the struggles. All right, so I'm gonna take these 2 tabs that were not scored. Remember the 2 tabs we scored? You can leave those there, but you're gonna take and put glue on the other 2, and you're gonna glue those down. And tearing tape is probably the best and fastest way, but Tombow is also good if you have the time and patience to glue things down, okay? Oh, Lizzie's cuddling, that's sweet. Sweet Lizzie. All right, the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue down these tabs. So this other sides that have the 2 score lines, you're gonna take glue up to that first score line, you're gonna fold it over on itself and just glue it down. Okay, just up to that first score line. Okay, so do that. All right, now it's ready to be embossed. So let's go ahead and do our embossing. And I have that beautiful Country Floor embossing folder, and we're gonna have to do this twice. So we're gonna do once because it doesn't fit. The whole thing doesn't fit for one. So we're gonna split it up at the score line right here. We're gonna do this side first, and then we'll do the second side. And you have to be a little bit strategic in the way you emboss this, because I don't want to fold this over because then it gets kind of crinkly, but fitting an embossing folder this way is a little tough, but it is not impossible. So just got to be really careful about the way you lay it down. So if I put this here, and I have to make sure it's absolutely centered or else it will eat at the sides of my folder. Okay, so just making sure with my hands I have everything pushed and kind of centered as best I can, and just run it through. I have had a lot of embossing folders that were eaten by not running it through the Big Shot correctly. So you can see part of it's embossed. So now we're going to do the other half right at that score line. You feel guilty about being right-handed. No, don't feel guilty. You are the way you are for a reason. Okay, so now that I've done this, let's go ahead and color with the shimmer paint again. Yay, but this time we're going to use the sponge, if I can find the sponge. Sponge, oh sponge, where are you? Okay, here's my sponge. And let's go ahead and put some shimmer paint down. Not a lot, don't go crazy. Don't want to waste it. Just need a little bit, maybe 2 drops is all. Okay, and we're just going to color this whole thing. Now, you can do a light coat, you can do a dark coat. This is kind of going towards dark, but I'm going to spread it. You didn't eat, no, I wasn't talking about you, Cindy. Remember my polka dots one? My polka dot one is like hanging by a thread. So I have a lot of embossing folders that have been eaten by being run through the Big Shot wrong. And it is all completely 100% my fault. But Cindy has experienced it. Cindy helps me out with a lot of prep, and she's my savior. And yeah, so she's experienced that the Big Shots do like to eat embossing folders. Okay guys, look, this is beautiful. Look at the color, it totally changed. So here's the side we didn't color, and it's all white or kind of plain and pale. Here's the side that we colored, and it's shiny and shimmery and beautiful. All right, so here's the next step. So we have, you know, these kind of diagonal folds that we did. We're actually gonna fold them in on themselves on, I have to look back and see how I did this. Fold them in on themselves, okay, on this side. All right, so the sides that we folded that have that kind of extra flap here, these sides, this is where we're going to fold in our sides. So we're gonna fold and fold and fold and fold and glue like that. And we're gonna do it on each side. So I'm going to use tear and tape because I don't want to sit here all up forever with the liquid glue. So I'm gonna put tear and tape on this fold here because it's gonna be folded over. Okay, and I'm gonna put it on this fold here because it's gonna fold over like so. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So we've got our tear and tape on this inside fold, and it's gonna be glued down like that. So see, like this. And then we're gonna take this one and we're gonna glue down like this. Okay. Now let's do it again on this side. So piece of tear and tape here and here. You guys see this, or are my big fingers in the way? And you're gonna fold that in. Okay, Now here kind of is the tricky part. I should have probably put the tearing tape on first, but that's okay. We're gonna put it on the inside here and put a piece right here. See, I did it with liquid glue the first time, and so it's a little bit easier to get in these little crevices, but it takes more time to glue down. You love tearing tape. Are you feeling PTSD with this tearing tape? All right, so again, we're gonna put tearing tape on this side, but you can see how strong it is, like how quickly and how strong it's holding those folds, which is a good thing, which is what we want. Let's do it on this side here. Look how pretty this rose gold paint is. It's just beautiful. I love it. Okay. Okay, thanks, Barb. I'm glad you guys can see. All right, so I'm just peeling off the backing here. Good morning, Rebecca. Happy Mother's Day. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I'm just peeling the backing off. Okay, now we're gonna tuck and fold. So you can see I tucked and folded. Now we've got one last piece to do, which is gonna be kind of tough. The last one's a little hard to get in there, but we'll do it. We'll make it work. Let's do the outside piece as well. And we're gonna use these little Velcro dots to create a closure. These Velcro dots you can order online, and sometimes, if you're really lucky, you can find it at Walmart, and I'm sure they have them at all the craft stores. Every time I go to Walmart, I feel like they're sold out. They're usually in like the sewing area, and you can get packs of different sizes if you're lucky. So I'm just peeling the backing off there. Okay, so tuck, tuck in, glue down, tuck in, glue down. Okay, so there's your sides. And then these sides here, we're just gonna kind of round and pinch to create that kind of side piece. So the sides of the purse. Doesn't that look like an adorable purse? Like, I would want a real size of this purse. Absolutely adorable. Okay, so those Velcro dots I was talking about, they look like this. And like I said, you can get different sizes. This one's a smaller size, which is perfect for our project. Now they come separated, and what I did is I sandwiched them together. Okay, I sandwiched them together so that you have the opposites that are attracted, you know, they're kind of touching each other. And they have these plastic sheets. And so you peel, so once they're sandwiched, you peel off one side and it's sticky. And you can stick it to the top of one of your flaps. Okay, and then you can peel the other side off like that. And you can sandwich the two together. So there, we've created that clasp. And what we can do is we can peel it off and just kind of stick those on so that they stick together. Okay, now we got to do our handles, which are really, really easy. You need a piece of basic black, and it needs to measure 4.5, and we're going to cut it at 4.5 by 1/4. Okay, so let's do that real quick. Let's get our trimmer back in here. I have this scrap piece of cardstock. So 1/4 of an inch is this first tiny line on the side of the trimmer. So we're just going to cut ourselves 2 of those. And then, like I said, it needs to be at 4.25 or 4.5. So let's just put them right at the 4.5 mark and just cut those off. And then the other thing we need to do is put it at the 1/2 inch mark, and we need to score on each side. So using my scoring blade, I'm just doing both of them at the same time. You can see I have them together. They're marked at the 1/2 inch mark and score. Okay. Now we can get rid of our scraps. So here's our bone folder. You want to fold up those score lines, and then you want to round your handle. Yeah, see, Cheryl knows my pain. Even the one in Kennewick is always sold out. The one in Pasco is always sold out. So, yeah, it's just a matter of chance. I always try to check when I'm at Walmart. Okay, and then you can see here, I just took the bone folder. I'm just curling the center. This is really important step because we're gonna force the cardstock to go in a way that it necessarily doesn't want to go. All right. And so that scored piece that we scored, we're going to take our liquid glue and we are going to just put liquid glue up to that score line. And on our bag, there's this line here where it meets. You're going to put your handle right outside of that line. Okay. And the score line is going to meet right up at the top. Can you see that? Put that there. And we're going to put some adhesive on this side. And see, it's going to curl like this. So you're basically gluing the same side of the cardstock down. It just has to curl in the center for you to do that. And that's where it's really important to round the edges to give it a curve, because the cardstock doesn't want to naturally bend that way. Okay, let's do it on this side. And you just have to sit there and kind of love on it for a minute till that glue dries. Okay, so it's not just the Tri-Cities. It's a Velcro dot epidemic worldwide is what I'm getting. Oh boy. Struggles of being a crafter. Okay. Velcro dots are pretty amazing though. Tell you what. All right, so there is our handles. Just making sure that these are glued down because they are functional. I can pick it up by their handles and they hold. That's why this liquid glue is so awesome. All right, so then inside you can fit jewelry, chocolates, all kinds of fun things. So this one is holding quite a bit of Hershey Kisses, and it still has room for other little fun things like a ring or necklace. It probably could fit a Ferrero Rocher candy, chocolate, all kinds of fun things. All right, so let's go ahead, and we're not done yet. We're gonna do a little sentiment in the front. So this says, "You are loved completely," and I think that's a really sweet sentiment. It is in the Be Strong and Beautiful stamp set, this one here, and it's gonna fit perfectly inside of our 1-inch circle punch. So a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and we've got the sentiment here. We'll just stamp it with some Stays On. I get a lot of questions about when to use Stays On and when to use Memento Black ink. That only comes into play when you're using water or alcohol. Then it's really important. Other than that, it's really up to you. Like if you're just gonna stamp and cut and there's no water involved or coloring, then don't worry about which one to use. Just use whatever you prefer. Now, I believe that Stays On is a little bit more darker and very black, whereas Memento's a little less black, more gray. So it really is up to you. If you can't tell the difference and you don't care, then just use whatever you have there, okay? So Stays On is used for kind of drying and being able to use on anything like clear window sheets, vellum, ceramic tile. Really, it's supposed to work for anything, whereas Memento ink will not. Okay, so I've stamped and punched with the 1-inch circle punch, and then I have the 1 1/8 scallop circle punch, and I'm punching out a piece of the powder pink, powder pink. And then I have the 1 1/4 inch circle punch. Debbie says stamps plastic bags too. So Stays On is good for that. If not for anything else, it's good for stamping on those other mediums. Okay, so we've got the 1-inch circle punch, the 1 1/8 scallop circle punch and the 1 1/4 inch black circle, that is going to create our layers here. So we're going to glue all these layers down. Let's do this one first. And then this would be a fun gift to give all the moms in your neighborhood or at your church or at work, because it really, once you kind of get going, they're not hard to assemble. Especially if you put the tearing tape down ahead of time. Okay, and then I like the flap to fold towards the back, so this would be the front for me. And you just glue that down to the center. So thank you, Paper Pixie, for teaching me how to make this bag. It's adorable. Again, she used designer series paper. I used cardstock that I embossed and colored with rose shimmer paint, but you get the same outcome. You get this adorable bag that you can fill with chocolates or treats for mom, or jewelry or other fun things, okay? So there are those projects. And then if you want a matching card to go with it, you can do this beautiful butterfly card. And then if you're doing a tea party, you can do this pretty tea party card. So there you go, guys. Yay! That is it for today. I hope you guys like the projects. I hope you guys have a fabulous day with your family. Don't forget to hit that S button. You could win one of those adorable Tombow holders. I'll put them back out here so you guys can see them. I have a pink and a white one to give away. This is my blue one that I use. And if you have any questions about classes coming up, don't forget the deadline for blends is coming up in 3 days. And the deadline for the butterfly brush show class is coming up in 5 days. So make sure if you want my spiral bound catalog, you place your order with me this month. Okay? Thank you guys. Have a fabulous Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. Have a fabulous week. Hope you get some crafting in, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.